You better watch out, you better not Skype, you better log out, yeah, you better not type. The NSA is coming to town.
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. The government is watching you. The National Security Agency has access to all of your information. Beware, they are watching you. The Constitution might say that you have the freedom, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but you don't. They are watching you. They are watching you. Make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop now. Do it. Do it. Do it. Make it stop.
But first, from Fox this Thursday night, our federal government is keeping track of every phone call we make.
That beginning in 2007, the NSA and FBI directly tapped into major internet companies, pulling audio, video, emails, and other documents that can map a person's universe of contact.
We're talking about Facebook, YouTube, Google, Yahoo, AOL, Microsoft, Apple, Paltalk. Fox News can now confirm that the program started back in 2007, tracking data and emails, video, pictures, web searches, all of that.
We learned that the government has the capacity to track virtually every American phone call and to scoop up impossibly vast quantities of data across the internet.
Revelations that the NSA eavesdropped on world leaders.
If you've ever been to the Bahamas, the NSA could have recorded your phone calls and stored them for up to a month.
This is spies spying on spies.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly.
That the NSA's bulk data collection program is illegal.
We have not identified a single instance involving a threat to the United States in which the telephone records program made a concrete difference in the outcome of a counterterrorism investigation.
The intent of the law was to target specifically terrorists, not to have this wide sweep on the internet and phone records that could go after average Americans.
One thing, there is no credible evidence that this program has kept us safer or has kept the bad people away from us.
One day, I hope that I'm wrong, but one day there will be an attack that's successful. And the first question out of everyone's mouth is going to be, why didn't we know about it? And the answer better not be because this Congress failed to authorize a program that might have helped us know about it.
This is a debate over the Bill of Rights. This is a debate over the Fourth Amendment. This is a debate over your right to be left alone.
We have got to be vigorous in fighting terrorism and protecting the American people, but we have to do it in a way that protects the constitutional rights of the American people, and I'm very, very worried about the invasion of privacy rights that we're seeing not only from the NSA and the government, but from corporate America as well.
We have to make some changes in order to secure that privacy, that constitutional right to privacy that Americans are due.
Okay, yes, I think that the government can read my texts or any sort of other information I send outside of my phone.
Definitely, they can.
Yes, I think the government can read our text messages.
Yes.
Definitely, I think that the government can read my emails, text messages, social media.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, they do read every email, they do audit every phone call.
Edward Snowden is the one who told the public about the existence of NSA.
By far, Edward Snowden is a very interesting person to America. He's a guy that should be talked about for what he did for his country, whether it was right or wrong is up to your own personal debate that you want to have this up, but he did shed light on a lot of things that go on in the government. So Edward Snowden is an important figure in American history.
I've heard the name. I know nothing else but the name. Edward Snowden. He's the one who revealed the whole fact that the government is able to read our stuff, kind of like breach security stuff, and then he ran away to Russia, and the government was trying to get him and put him in trial, but they couldn't.
He leaked He leaked a bunch of information on WikiLeaks a while back, and I don't know if he's still in Russia or whatever. Is he still in Russia? Do you know?
He's still in Russia.
He still is in Russia? Shoutouts to Russia.
Who is it? Oh, the guy who like put all the business out there?
When you send your junk through Gmail, for example, that's stored on Google's servers. Google moves data from data center to data center, invisibly to you without your knowledge. Your data could be moved outside the borders of the United States temporarily. When your junk was passed by Gmail, the NSA caught a copy of that. I did this to give the American people a chance to decide for themselves the kind of government they want to have. So you shouldn't change your behavior because a government agency somewhere is doing the wrong thing. If we sacrifice our values because we're afraid, we don't care about those values very much.
A recent Pew report found that nearly half of Americans say they're not very concerned or not at all concerned about government surveillance, which is...
Do I think it's right? Not necessarily all the time, but I can see why. If it's going to help protect the nation, then I can understand why they do it.
Yes, I believe that if government wants to check my text or email or anything like that, they have power to do anything like that.
I think that when it's reasonable and when the government is doing it for our safety, then we have to trust them to some extent.
No, I think it's okay. I'm guessing it's necessary. I balance between like I don't do anything wrong, and so it's okay if it protects me. But at the same time, I'm like, well, that's not constitutional, and we shouldn't play games with the Constitution because that protects so many of our other rights. So playing games with it is just dangerous. I don't really appreciate that.
It's not a big concern to me because it's not like I'm plotting on the world or anything, but it is kind of an issue for certain people because privacy is important.
So I sometimes think it's okay, and other times I think it's wrong. It's okay for the point of protecting our country, but if they take it to the next step of like, oh, we have the power to read it, then we're just going to read it. But if someone sends like a specific, like if it's like something that's very specific and a threat, and that's the time they could probably use that power to start reading out information like our text messages and our emails. But unless that is not being said, then there's no need for it.
We should have, to an extent, some privacy, but I mean, if you have a terrorist in America, then of course you want the government to know so that 9/11 doesn't happen all over again.
I don't see the point if I'm not doing anything. I'm just here going to college, going on Facebook and Twitter. I don't see how keeping track of me is helping keep the country safe.
I was the principal author of the Patriot Act. I can say that without qualification. Congress never did intend to allow bulk collections when it passed Section 215, and no fair reading of the text would allow for this program.
2 days after letting a disputed post-9/11 surveillance program go dark, the Senate has just passed legislation to revive it, but with some changes.
These programs break the law. They violate the Fourth Amendment and they strip us of our privacy. The U.S. Constitution was written to prevent government surveillance programs like PRISM. It's up to us to demand that these ideals be upheld. Help us stop the NSA, restore the Constitution, and keep the world free.
Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. The government is watching you.